Ghana ye ho kyerɛ ya abutie anano ana Ghana ye ho kyerɛ ya yes ye kopɛ bosia every the same IMF but you understand economy as man
3 billion
economy 3 billion
3 billion
for how many years
3 years
for 3 years now within a calendar year your transaction about 1.7 billion what say normal.
What can you say? You are not being fair
as a country.
No, be fair. And your headlines, so
party be a bar ben one. Or then any sort of who chair or mine. Na no ye control by it is na union NDC for catch Ghana for so moto abamaya. Yeah, the 24-hour economy beba. Adwuma baako enipa miensa ene beye. Eno na e boshe Boshe the ana mention am family home to society because we be at Mrs. The situation within the country no quite my Boshe edane. That's the reason why in here you can say 24-hour job no about 24-hour market. Say the three shift no am kwadwom three shift be call market. Ama say anadwo na e ba kodi dwa be fufu adi o say ba be yankwan o ni na wa awrade nsem. Na enema miensa pa aban gina so a benefit o momba aban mu. Na me no mo ya adwen den ene se menim se abrabo yi obi ye bibi adekra wo be kase de nipa no ye enye no unyo opportunity a ni kwan so repeat say ade no campaign de na agi tini kase pa ye galamse se aban na wo ho ama ho kwan ma ne nkrofo se Ghana nsase ensuo eni nua enti ye nua NDC for including even the president and most of the MPs omampani no onye na dwen so opeso okon a o tumi na chane nsem obetimi de state of emergency kra akon galamsey 1 year 9 months ni state of emergency yentimi mfa maaye.
Lessons from the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program. Page 8, paragraph 13. Losses in 2024 were equivalent to almost $400 million. That's 0.5% of GDP. It's way under Akufo-Addo government. Yes, sir. 2024. So our losses see by. What you ask me a kafa ho Ghana?
Oh yeah.
When you ask me a kafa ho Ghana? Unkai. Very serious.
Kaimi.
A whole press conferences in Kumnana Domayen. That was it. Basis no. Nanado then a busian for a year. Ghana Sika. Gold. I value $400 million. Okay. Let me read it fast forward. I'll say in 2025, that is under regime way, NDC are buying. The significant scaling up of DGPP operations led to losses of over $1.7 billion. That's 1.5% of GDP.
Abushia and Reverend Charles Owusu wone Dr. Henry Kwabena Kokufu ya uba santiman temu a okọ esenko kako gina senka NPP for wa santiman temu nto abama no na nka womra me dwam training anase chairman emfa man NPP amonyokue ko wi achi na koka ena ehwere edikan no ene wonum hia ewo Peace FM so ma ensem ahodo akoso ho no na kire sampa NDC aban wadi Ghana fo hwamo papa frise Ebre ya 2024 ye babe kwa abatoa no na yakakoto aba na wono mo nam bontoa no ensem ahodo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama sabre no ye candidate wo kade to Ghana fo trim na ene ba kokora ntimi mamu no a na chese yare ho sem papa na chese NDC aban wode ye gura to pre onye na adwene se obebi bi ama Ghana fo akomato no yam na no ena wono mo nkasa ye mu no wono ma kire mu pa se wo hwe ne ma titiri pa John Dramani Mahama kan to Ghana fo trim Emma yegina toto abana afe baako ene boso me be se nkono ni baako kure ne hono ma watumi aye ewom se NPP aban ba ye no nye bibia no kan ye wotumi ye de ne nsuso afe baako ntem no na wo hwe niema hodo pa His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo etimi de gu akwan mu Ghana ha no a ene na kyese NDC for wono ma ye frakadam papa na wo hwe ne ma mpanimfo bobobo so eni sika puduo ya ababe yera wa Ghana ha ene GOLDBOD see a Bank of Ghana see a GOLDBOD ni nyina no my Ghana ene yesika ayera mpanimfo nya adaje kyerɛkyerɛ mu IMF nkrata ene ababe to abonte ma obi anya bia ye kenkan no wo kan mu ona kyese ehu papa ya se animonimu ya no NDC aban wa hwɛ no amanani ankɔ ho na wampa nim di form ma mwa o man no ye bɛka kɔhwe amena mu se to say ye GOLDBOD say ye Bank of Ghana say ye Cocoa Board say ye hwan ka no ababe ye Ghana fo ko mu a wonom kyɛ sɛ free si enya independent no ye ɔman no mo ka sɛ bi da we ni de dikan na gold nsusu ye ton eboka ye no nsem bebre no a wo de me ma me kasa nwa bebre yenko na yenko tie Reverend Charles Owusu one Dr. Henry Kwabena Kokofu enne se do mosi atete NDC aban pa no de asi enya daje na yeti message so be like video no ma me no share na wo do adwen kyerɛ nsusu aba ye nyina no yenhwehwem ne kenkan bi na yentimi enhwea mu ade.
This is the 24-hour economic clock. One job, 3 shifts, 3 people. 1, 3, 3. One job, 3 shifts, 3 people. Obiabe Didi, Ezu. Ni anawi ye nurse ni anawi ojuma nipa awi ejuma yebetimi aboa onu esidan na debia bosombia yetua oka ne ate okakra yebenya companies bi na omone banks na yejuma enti se onim se woni oma e ba ubekwa konhu omo no ma ba obosia sa abosia no omdi betia aban to ni gapo ha ni eto bia ewo ho na yeyi we container si ya na omo yi e de akoto terminal one aban ni asembia. We shall reintroduce automatic posting of teachers and we shall scrap the teacher licensure exams.
Afeso ya green say koko na debia ya de kwa manone na yakoye hu adwuma ho ne ya chocolate ne ya abre no yes ya abre ya pese factory na ya de ya koko no ya de ba bibia yedua koko no we for no fifi ya baba be two borehole wo ho near the polytank kesi ho.
And I can assure you the price is going to be a very, very, very good price. So those of you who don't have cocoa farms, go and start looking for land.
Is that in the first 120 days, we'll provide the seed money upfront for the Women's Development Bank.
24-hour economic clock. One job, 3 shifts, 3 people. Obiabe Didi.
And only bibi.
Nti eminia.
Party bi e ba ben mu a. Oda na ni so de hu kire oman no. Na no ayekoto ba it is na yenuanom NDC for ka kire Ghana for so moto obaman ya the 24-hour economy beba. Adwuma baako enipa miensa ene beye. Eno na e bohye na bohye de na me nhyeda mfa me ho nto so because bibia timi sisa the situation within the country no quite ma bohye na edane. That's the reason why ntia ye ka say 24-hour job no about 24-hour market. Say the 3 shift no am kwadwom 3 shift be call market. Ama say anadwo na e ba kodi dwa be fufu adiu say ba be yenkwan o ni na awurade nsem. Na enema miensa pa aban gina so a benefit your mom ba aban mu. Na me no mo ya adwen den ene se menim sa abrabo yi obi ye bibi adekora wo be ka se de nipa no ye enye no. Unyo opportunity I can so repeat this idea na. Campaign de na agi ntini kese pa ye galamsey. Se aban na wo ho ama ho kwan ma ne nkrofo se Ghana nsase ensuo eni nua. Nti ye nua NDC for including even the president and most of the MPs. Oh, omampani no onye na dwen so opeso okon a o tumi nyina hye nsem obetimi de state of emergency kura akon galamsey 1 year 9 months ni state of emergency ni yentimi mfa maaye na kise kasa e kasa tia ya enne galamsey na pagya ni mu a chen kan no na kise na da asem na ye ka kire Ghana for ana de to so biem ade ba ko se din hipa wo abato eto no na no LGBTQ+. Se LGBTQ no abaya wo ho na kise ya pass mra yenya ntie kra se akodu owura kufo do anim no so one sign but thank God Ira Mahama ono abaye oye no kwafo nti wo se mra no kra se a new president impo na se be omampani assign ebesi 1 year 9 months aye ka say de tia ne tie yenye ho hwe na ade ba ko na esanka ho pa ye corruption nti wobati yesi ya wie sika wo ha bati yesi ya wie sika wo ha bati yesi ya wie sika wo ha ehun sema kase ade ye ka oman mu edu ba bi ma aban a wotwa mu ese banks ahodo a wo oman mu ahoden wo fam ti se ba ye bebo se bi oman mu ankran sika wo no ese se ye gu banks nyina na ye kan nyina bom dia ahodo a ye to so nya asem kwa ama ye wie ye se aban ni timodin we timodin for na nka sebi we o dream Ghana for ho a nka onya de oyeye which is about 22 billion and ye di a year banking no 20 billion ye di banking sector clean up ni na and ye ka corruption ho asema ana ye ka sika sebi o man na hwere ho asema NDC nya party a eso omo kasetie ni pe ka ho asema na bida at all na number 2 na anu na ye to nyum chorus kumuna na do man ye ready kumuna na do man ye na ye ade a demonstration you know NDC for the core Bank of Ghana and this anyum no ba ya for the first time in the history of this country yet jida bonten ye nuana na odi chorus na nim no na ye hwan ye nuana na odi chorus na nim na oto nyum no kumuna na do man na do die na wa ye antie ready kumuna na do man o man no and Jesus Christ. But Joe, I think your market is on the show. I can't say IMF for a cancer report. The last time I checked, on your member, whether it is GOLDBOD or Bank of Ghana, there has been a loss. Sikaira. Now, if 22 billion, you lose 22 billion as a result of a transaction, you took gold. Atong edia boa so man sika semwa musi ma yenka ho asem na yenka de ben ma yenka ho yenka de asem. What are we talking about? That 22 billion loss aba, whether it is Bank of Ghana or it is GOLDBOD, Ghana for ni hu kwanse yenka ho asem. I believe that GOLDBOD for senka mo bibi kan o ma ho de na some channel de call IMF for. So this is what we have been told. Bank of Ghana for what same can. Are they omen so be an chechiro? Why can't they come out and say as soon as I am a volcano and you're not correct? But Parliament chechiro come out Bank of Ghana for no ma ba be dia 2 said some war report to me na not correct. Because they signed to the report. And see whether it is GOLDBOD that made the lost. And answer Bank of Ghana and Mercy can you die? Nti musima ya nkhwehwe can ma yanka ho asem me yamisa ho asem say because you over 10 billion aba o man mu nti say 1.7 billion ya boka ma yamisa 1.7 billion no because someone is in charge of GOLDBOD. I mean what kind of logic is this? I wonder Minia Sakra. Hey, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Send this NPP in all power. If it were to be NPP in power today, and gold for oil, I can't say transaction. Omaboka 1.7 billion. Ka NDC for country say, "My enka hwasem, me misa hwasem." Intinka defense ni be say ya print. Afenyo market se honsem. Aya na chrokonkon Bible. Be chapter 1 to chapter 10. Because afenyo market se bisa wa bomusuo. Say IMF for abeka. Say gold purchasing program na no. Kaya bo 1.7 billion, which is 22 billion Ghana cedi. My ye misa hwasem. I mean, how? na se a me hu said ye sit here e dey asem ni asem be no has NDC forgotten the numerous press conferences are we on Ghana? Has they forgotten? Have they forgotten? Omo refi nti ameka say emre dani ampa oba nananum kan say onyinia yen sra kwatia
sa pepe
oso hu tenten na wasra kwatia I am shocked. Me hwɛ de nkofo bi keka nsɛm a me NDC defend ya ha me because he's an NDC person on ka onya den mo defend it obe defend it because it has something to do with his party. Rawlings party that people died because omkoji ebosia obi okoji ebosia yekum no because they see ordinary position and the influence ebosia na oje any man no abra obetuaka under Rawlings obewo NDC and say yahu sika na man say aburo so say $1.7 billion no a chicken change until we shouldn't make noise about it. Afenyo is a bon musu. I'm not defending Afenyo. Afenyo is not Ghana. Ghana is bigger than any individual. Omana ye dia sha munsa musu na baso na expressway from Accra to Kumasi na sikasa na abanso de be
3 billion USD
1.7 billion echo as you speak Kumasi Accra road yeah no sabi double lane dual carriage lane this in there contractors are also in Nigeria because he just came into Omaka no matter so enti ene accident e kum nipa wo man mu dodo na e Kumasi Accra road utu ne awa okuma Accra na Kumasi say wo kwa yi a na utu around anopa 8 or 9 o be kone omabu akontan kra kofi. That is the kind of road I tell you. And we God, NDC, I am surprised.
Why are you?
And I'm surprised.
Why?
Because coming to you can say to government, into government, Omo fapim kese pa e ketasishani pro any kankan. Tell me say they should go back and play their tapes. Play the tapes. In some of them actually Ghana for I remember there's once upon a time I see cash for seat. Who guys has them?
President Gufado. Alan Chamatin Trade Minister.
Say you see Nkofo am better on travel on penny on sika on between any na on sika na was. You see NTP da o man. Corruption. Na pacho yebo kinoforia tetiso. With regards to SML mebo. Sika ye ka ho asem nyina ye. I think 1.4 billion. Payment that GRA through finance minister has made to SML no. 1.4 billion. And now you see young kofa kenofora tamra ne yemfa homa mesha ne kon. Ne yentwi na abo so ma ne body nteti organ because wabomusu 1.7 billion. Ghana sika. Work that the company has done that are mined to your moka. Your maeti say a part of corruption scandals are yeka myself. I all court to see. And the uncle for being Rami Kuno because of 1.4 billion Ghana city. But 1.7 billion a cop. You need maybe a Sikana walk. You need quite find Sikana. We shouldn't ask questions in this country.
Oh, they are not saying that. Almost say. Sikana de tiene say Bank of Ghana this kama gold board say koto gold bremi gold board no Bank of Ghana this kind man on o man the dollar rate say for rate say neko enti ono no de man no de akoto ndi so obana rate assessment Bank of Ghana say gold board assem
Bank of Ghana scan omo dia scan Bank of Ghana ne dia ene o man dia nana
ya dia
na say Ghana ye sika say wo di juma na sika na odi hu djuma no Yeah, pension more. You can't say this.
Almost say on cancer, but I then I'm on fast as born and Bank of Ghana, not gold bond, I'm debo.
Nana, a human when this kind of idea, you man of the air.
Only to gold.
Now, when it's gold.
Gold board.
And you can't say this almost.
Some Bank of Ghana man rate no so no the koto. And there's a difference about rate in one.
Or the rate or the rate number Ghana. The kind of rate I demand or something koto. Look, Nana, I didn't hear so silent. Maybe so. Say a branch here or yet gold board for a penny to see. If he had been in the NDC, NDC opposition. Kabadis our press conference by 1,000. Actually, maybe a second be hour, maybe a fire, and a chrono a man for a ball. Many as I can here. Look, made much last year. Incoming chairman, yada, crow, who be this so.
Amen.
Bet much last year. Oh, defend your body. It's party. And you be as a the Orient human beings on Fana Zanqua. Or another.
Oh, they went there, you want
there be and you want to make a myself. The Modi, make us say you're human being. Oh, Fana Zanqua. Minty the day and as you. Oh, President Mahama buying power. Look, see, what time could you know in America? But President Mahama, the second term or buy. No crane ya many me tea, me shedding suit ni buying the casa. Assistant. Only Ghana phone come with you. Then some are all. Juma DB. Our year, dear Medimania who dear. Metimaka said, and society won't chain the canning or buy. Na Pajama Bampa na will be Casa say. The first time or the a financial ministers bears a numerous in Sian. Ah, na minu money bo maka ho.
How na the basic form no.
Nyame fa the currency. What just more kind?
I was saying.
Or say on authority arrogance be or na bam.
Na tolerate.
Na obi a ye di tumi ama on Ghana for na di tumi a hye o nsa. Obi bi obi di say adwuma di bia na obi na fi na bam. Na namba cho. Enua branch here no. Enkomodi a obedi ye fa na ni ye gold board ho. Antwa yi. Me na mka chiro antwa yi. E bia. Ono anya kwan a aya on kohwe video no. On tia se na onyina party for. Sabi ejina bia. Ya to Obama party we are party be ya ban. On some party osum oman. Yen oman na osum yen. Ti na oni Ghana for na e kasa. No,
maybe I see
you penny former general or Jim. Or say if the kitchen is too hot for you.
Walk out.
Leave the kitchen. If you think that a human no untimini Ghana for ninsa also and Kasana say broswa. The best thing to do is to walk out from the job.
May I say unya go boy so watching.
Okay.
So much. Now I can say every chief executive implements decisions of the board. The attacks on Sami Jemfi by Apanyo Macken is what has brought the attack on him. Before we jump over fire, let's check where our cotton wool is positioned. Who makes profit without investing? Let's look at what those investments have yielded. Stable economy, availability of foreign exchange, etc. So this better soup, it not be money we go take cookam. It be money, my brother. Tell Pastor Charles that if Apanyo said there has been a loss, he wouldn't have had X in his face. The deliberate attack on Sami Jemfi is the problem. So Charles should understand. Godwin, Ako, Gan, and Ode we say Aba Abetumu. Oba
Kadna.
Yes, sir.
By
me of Abako, Inspector Kakeri, or Semencha Reverend Charles Usu Emano. Charles, Inspector Kakeri, so watching.
Making a sopa, no, Inspector way.
Or so Hotiaman and Tonka.
Okay, over to Kapa.
All right.
Now, Akugan, so no communication that, yes, sir.
Aye.
Or Kaiser Sonia Stadio. Yes, very compare, man.
Akogan, Benzura, Akukra, Wadim Bonio, Atome Benz. Atome Benz. Benzura. Charles see a study or what in your campaign you be guy. For 15 minutes.
Yeah. Probity and accountability.
Social justice.
And Nana Charles Bezoka was a reverend. Okay. I say me campaign into na me face issues, Papa, but we require the meeting account baby kakra. Mini I go to Ibena go to yan.
Ghana web.
Dabi Bible
the promise
Nana mo read Galatians 4:16
no kwasima me catch on to my old town for
what the message read the Galatians 4:16 then
have I become your enemy by telling you the truth?
No kwasima me catch on
no kwasima me catch on to my old town for ananya na
up in your markings the minority leader stands accused if you say Wakanokre.
Just a second. News coming in is that High Court reverses takeover of Shaders Oxford #1 hotel for being in breach of contempt of court rules. Orders receiver to return keys to Cheddar immediately. All right.
Okay. The woman is yeah, money may be straight. I am biano $1.7 billion losses be okay, be I am equivalent to 22 billion cedis. Now, dear, let's say many and this for us kakra. Between Bank of Ghana and the Gold Board. Why na losses no code books anyaza ya no say sell na situate etiera afa nyo marking kase Gold Board na abo sa aka no eno na the problem yaba kan de yabo a da ho but say Bank of Ghana na boss aka no ana Gold Board na boss aka no eno ne dispute ni say I thought money me again into who to you lady and to NDC in Gold Board Bank of Ghana. Yes sir. Okay. It's IMF a year what am I International Monetary Fund lessons from the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program. Page 8 paragraph 13. I'll say DGPP operations have generated significant losses for the BOG, that's Bank of Ghana. So it is established here, say, losses, Bank of Ghana losses. Until read the further. Also, losses in 2024 were equivalent to almost $400 million. That's 0.5% of GDP. It's way under a Akufo-Addo government. Yes, sir. 2024. So how loss is he by? What you ask me a kafa ho Ghana? Oh yeah. When you ask me a kafa ho Ghana? Menkai. Unkai. Very serious. Kaimi. A whole press conference is in Kumnana Domayeno. That was it. Basis no. Nanado nena busian for we are Ghana sika gold. I value $400 million. Okay, let me read it fast forward. I'll say in 2025, that is under regime way NDC are buying. The significant scaling up of DGPP operations led to losses of over $1.7 billion. That's 1.5% of GDP. Then what jump over? Also, losses accrued on gold trades are a combination of service and asset fees paid to Gold Board.
As I just saying,
just say a car ya can was a Bank of Ghana boss aka ne say 1.7 billion a combination services and asset fees. Sika ya boaboa no yetua ye asset fees ne services Bank of Ghana etua ma Gold Board ehun kano enti se ye hwehwe ba bia e kano wa Bank of Ghana na abone kanyeza ye den no boss aka no one farm red despite group of companies. One farm comma forestry commission and one farm comma EPA or the comma gold board. I don't say accepted Anna. Where men can free me three more. Where IMF document because Matisa Mokai Mosi Yamshe I honor the buy Yamnam the buy Mosi IMF report to no page bay and the Yabo gold board the there Martin Bear 3 days in other maybe just 2 minutes have identified document in where Yabo gold board thing in concerning the 1.5 billion.
Okay, say.
Oh, what ni? Masama repeat it. I no pay me bro for them 10 coins. Do they make me? I say losses accrued on gold trades are a combination of service and asset fees paid to gold board. Simplicity. That is it. Our page A8 of the document, paragraph 13, line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Line 9. And I established.
What is it? What's my wife? I say, Charles, I'm going to tell you,
sir.
Me call na say me call ira sikana.
Yes.
Na ma ba ma betina ase dem take me dem fam. Sikana me small say kota de ma. Say ayira. E den ayira ya so na de ma me.
Enti wo ka. Una ayira. Enti sesia no.
What be that?
Boss, you document no. So now it is established. Say yes, losses only a Bank of Ghana losses. Yes, it is accepted. But a year then and a losses no a buy. IMF now say sir asset fees in service charges a Bank of Ghana Tiama gold board no and a combination of that and a result in that losses. In any case, Dokunko abronko Bank of Ghana and Kona gold board onko. Nina the establishment a statutory establishment a your my Ghana a president of the republic and what overall responsibility towards these institutions. Indeed, when him say Bank of Ghana is not happy, the governor is not happy.
Yes.
The governor is behind the scenes insisting say finance minister or absorb our costs because the losses cannot sit on the books of Bank of Ghana. Munya checks in here. Enti say fast check gold board aboka na. Yes, it's true, gold board aboka. Bank of Ghana aboka, but gold board na ama Bank of Ghana aboka. That is the fact. And that is what is in there to be addressed. Enti say IMF which say you gold board na wama Bank of Ghana abosa ne kana. Na afenyoma kan ho asema definitely on timi nko kan say forestry commission you are may aboka $1.7 billion. Ana KM boss may aboka.
Of Amajuanu CEBIum. Just in Supreme Court dismisses injunction application to restrain Achibonga and Kokuvite from trial proceedings in oral cases during legal vacation. I know about one I say, but maybe news in the Supreme Court of Bro.
But Ghana, the good news is say Matisse a gold board boss also appear before Parliament. No answer question. Yes, sir. I think that is where the matter should begin and end. Some media incantations, nominate you put to have spirited friends defense. I just say, gradually, no, you reduce to personalities, individual personalities. But nobody is interested in Afenyo engineer or WGC, whatever, and for now, that is not the subject matter. Said they be beba nene mbe scrutinize the document in fact ye for go ye e be a baby beba ho beba mpaso, but for now they are completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. Afenyo is not talking as Afenyo talking, or a minority leader, or kasa for and on behalf of the largest minority group in Parliament. Enti say one nyadwia fair enough. You can attack near Okano and say Uchakuntumpu because gold board or mocha. That's fair enough. But the only defense you want to put up is to put his personal friend is The integrity at stake and scrutinize the integrity there. I don't think so is the way to go. You got it all wrong. GOLDBOD or moka because GOLDBOD unisika or the year you may be no akoboka to say but mom so much as GOLDBOD and yamfaso. GOLDBOD made 5.4 billion surplus.
How did they do that?
How? Because simple anymore accounting any say you make profit and losses. And at one point would you make it profit by a drew losses na you attribute to our see the losses. But profit bad yeah we now make it profit. This is Kwakwanan's stories. And nobody, Ghanaians will not take this for a friend say the truth. We must know. GOLDBOD boss, yen ceasefire na uncle parliament. None of parliamentarians in Busasi at least if for now it is established. So $1.7 billion a year and now say you lose as for mine. Between Bank of Ghana and GOLDBOD. GOLDBOD, Bank of Ghana, uncle chirichirim. GOLDBOD is uncle chirichirim.
Bank of Ghana Kodada.
Wakodada. Okwe no nze.
Wakochirim.
Ozi nyaneka.
Oh, nyaneka.
Na ehwanka.
I said near baby Canada. So on the this kind of mine.
Bank of Ghana senior onsan ko bi. Mesra no da GOLDBOD beko Bank of Ghana government anso ko bi. Na mumie nu nyina that day na yenhwe between mumie nu montem e bi esika no. Because this cannot be wasted away. At one point you say your operational cost. Agreed. Operational cost. And now no na your $400 million will be say or wabe mo say your operational cost. Mo say da no. Eye chrono, eye katasise, eye proye and fahin ko say 400 not just what the time by 4 eye 1.6.
Yeah.
It's more than 4 times a 7 year within a year. 2025. And mo say me enka ho asem. Enti rather no insult.
Among kazen kan say. Hwese sika no. Na hwe mfaso a e de abre oman no. Say ama enam say sika na wo kan so. Ghana sika gina. Say wo per dollar unya bi. Enti empo say 1.5 billion bi kura kono a. Hwe mfaso a e de abre oman no. Debi. Ana abunya sa na. Debi.
Akalo. Debi. Say one munji tum say 1.7 naira losses nyasa na emum ha na kodi ekoye we one approve we parliamentary approval one because it remains state money. Yeah. And transaction be here for on behalf of our minor you must have the approval of parliament and omute budget estimate bar for up to 2025 and he found a womb says 1.7 billion e be yira na yira a ha name for so ni we na koi. That is not it. We are saying say Oma I can't about 1.7 billion now according to mono a friend said minority leader akoka say GOLDBOD abase ono de omo kabia seka wo hompa nyo no boss aka no na emum Bank of Ghana ono this kind man yes I know muka ana Bank of Ghana so say me sa aka no me de go me books me nye because me this kind man GOLDBOD so no na onko di dwademra ana sa losses na ba eti enya nuru ba bia mfasodie bia de aba the whole program no ye no gold reserves no go for oil no eno ho mfaso na mo ka no the entire program ho mfaso. It is not 1.7 billion a year no and I cost stabilize the dollar no. And you know, I hope you're getting me, Kadna. The entire program I yento gold, near fancy, near fanco, near cotton, yamfa gold, and called talk fuel. That program no and abua amana stabilize winning. Na se sample net year. Then you go back to 2024. Mpacho mami ho document ni. Mami ho document ni. Wow document na is saying say 2024 ana buy na no ho no. Or this our program ne buy. Which ye nyina got attributed ye didn't nyina ma Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia saying one of the innovative ideas thinking say baby ye won ne o how o mind wo let us go through this program. Na ebetumi aboaye. No mu kan ho asem twa na da pa say nya no kreda. It will not be. Na pesi ewia Ghana gold, ya pesi ewie say. Enti say a stabilize the dollar. Program na stabilize dollar. Any city relationship. Among them for so be aba any idea. You must take credit back to that period. If you say policy initiation no and na banche crowd ya na dana ebebo. Banche wo the chef form dana ebebo amotu yedi. No. Enti sa aniswade hu na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia any new patriotic party under President Akufo-Addo. Enya ye ne de san hihye nyina begu na no man tiase afise na tikase dwina de ho no oba dwini bibi ho a adwenketo ase enyeye adwenkese kase we ye betimi atu anamo bebo a beyese adwenketo ase enyeye enti IMF report na kasa is indicating so 2024 sa policy na ebeda ho no eno na aboa amadwumadie na akọ na sa bre na ebo amadwumadie na akọ na de mfaso beba no losses of $400 million were incurred and in sa losses and also mobile must scaling up my pagem no at the losses of 1.7 billion aba yes sir and no any ebusa ho asem say sa 1.7 billion mo make chiri mu den e bia the way control ha and we fa ha no we ba and enya sa losses we so ya asem a ya me na tintin afi je say afenyo markings class 1 ko yina mo ko fa ba would that solve this? Any personalities in free, any individuals in free. Of course, you see, we are talking about state institution. We are talking about state institution, GOLDBOD. She says, "So what now? That GOLDBOD and now Okasama and Kabi. Now what? We are timekeeper that way. Jai, take your coup. You know, a state institution, and unti. And yadi ni patwa no collective responsibility. And it's abana say as a son no year no. I don't think Safenyo Markin wanted to attack GOLDBOD CEO as a person, because the whole thing is about GOLDBOD. Now GOLDBOD no you're responsible for day-to-day administration. Ni di ni ebebo yantimi ko bo Reverend Charles din. Ne kwakra ni say yenye kom na CEO GOLDBOD yesika hira also obeko parliament na parliament bisebisa ne sem no akoyia no let that be na radio so TV so ye counter ye diatem ye can we there no emwa Ghanaians want to know and probity and accountability there and this is for your mo slogan da why are you running away from and you will be held responsible and accountable for everything you do, because you see you to abama one ni emfa Ghana ma say you adwuma take afa o na ye say work and pay into wetimi aye ne awpe bia wabra winyin sama no nsem ne de e ba say na no nsu oto yi a bi nto bi ewi kra betumi abusa mo ho asem, because the top akube no ekum nipa bebrebe and you betumi abusa mo ho asem because that was the logic of the day when they were in opposition. In Sionto krane Akufo-Addo aban boninti in Sionto. In Sionto na yiri no so another thing. So we will continue to ask and call for accountability. And we dey be way munketwa dodo na beba the documents e pa ya de waboa no beba waboa bebrebe ano what you say but o boss obeko parliament
he's ready to go.
Enti ahano emoa peace.
If today you are insulting Afenyo Market, using unprintable words on my person, hiring social media people going to sit as studios of FM stations, TV stations, use vulgar language, the very thing that if you give them a snap, a Bible, a Quran to swear whether it is true, they cannot. They are saying it for politics. I won't question you. I won't say anything. I won't sue you. But bear in mind that which you cherish melts. That one day, if yesterday I misconducted myself and disrespected my friends in opposition, I wouldn't have the moral authority to call and say, bro, you are wrong. I honored them. I respected them. They know. Sometimes they can't say it publicly, but they know that Afenyoma can respect brotherhood. I respect a code. I don't dishonor friendship. We are doing politics. I'm the minority leader. I'll do my work. We are on firm grounds. Any media house that will say that minority got something wrong is doing mischief, because that media house will not be doing justice and doing fairness to the whole to the whole process, because we did a lot of work. And what I came out to present was as a result of good, excellent work done. We crossed every T. I wish I took a video to show the back room. When the morning I took the report, I said, no, let me be double sure, because we know the public out there, they will scrutinize. Checked every data, made sure every information. I checked myself with my pen, underline, cross every T, made sure what we were releasing to the public would be unquestionable. In 2012, we had 125. In 2016, we had 169. All right? We thought heavens have opened for us forever. We took things for granted. In just 4 years, we woke up the next day to 137. See how we struggled. The NDC that everybody thought NDC is broken. Oh, they can't come back. Our presidential vote reduced by half. Akufo-Addo won 2016 with over 1 million. In 2020, after all the good things we did, look at COVID, how we spent, the project, free SHS implementation, only to wake up to see that our majority has been reduced to 137. We struggled in parliament. I was deputy majority leader, became majority leader. I know how I struggled. We lost the speakership. Now, Akufo-Addo, it took the grace of God to go through the 4 years. Because parliament, when parliament is strong, no government can, run over parliament.
Now, was thwarted.
Right. Now, today, our friends get the impression that, oh, all is good. Oh, 189 there. Ebi wom. 189 is ebi wom pa. Oh, these people, they can't defeat us. It's okay. I am telling them that be measured how you maltreat us.
Be measured how you maltreat us. Honorable Alexander Kwamena Afenyoma Ken ene wonya kwanka kopie mu ewo Good Even Ghana dwumadi so na ensem ahodo ne nkrata ya wade kogu ho no moko biebie mu no e dia dance se papa yi sabi ne konho yi ntini ya wati radio so Eco TV so ne ade a all kana sem se Ghana ya boka ne mum IMF fo nkrata wo mo de aba na NDC fo katakata so no amanfo bi entenase nenso se obekoso ako ekosi bra Ghana fo nyina behunu se ampa sensem a woka no entrobia enim ose ye ne ya se no behu radio station si bia so magia demodie bio so magic dashete bio ena wonum nyina e defend aban no wa bra mo amunim se IMF nani edidwumade na chi a ne nkrata wode aba bonten no won so ubetimi anya bi na wakenkan ehunu de wom nenso Ghana fo de ya adwen se amonyosem no na de akatakata ani NDC fo ka se iya na nsem kyerefo nyina agya tum se ye mpa kyerɛ akwan pon kɔpɛ nkrata ne bi na yakenkan toro de wo kyerɛ se obekɔ so a na wakɔ rounds wakɔ ton na asɛm kosi bra Ghana fo nyina bɛka sɛ afenyo we de gyewobo na ene IMF de nkrata aba bonten aba be kyerɛ mu sɛ ɛka no ɛyɛ $1.7 billion. Samije mfiche se IMF nsem no moka no wono munye ntum enye no kore nanso ebra na Samije mfi wo opposition ne de IMF de krata aba fa na ado ne NPP ho a ene no moje tum se ye no kore ne no oba ban mu ne de IMF nkrata no wo kire se enya ade se wo bagi adie na afenyo nsem wo kan ye a na che se ne ne abre ho pa no eye nsem ahodo bi a Samije mfi de ababe yi ne ho ano se wono de nsem ababe to abonten kire se IMF nkrata aba no kire se ya boka Samije mfi brabe yi ano a ono sebi Afenyoma Ken no na wode atenie ne nsem ahodo bi a sebi nsem fata de ababe yi na no na Ghana for de NDC for ne abo nsem hia de ama Samije mfi na nso Samije mfi wanka hwe fi se nkrata no anka se de nanim mo ye se waboka no de enye no ho na obehwe kan ye na emom enipa bi o gidi se wonu metu omani asi nsem ne so a wonu ma eka no ena oba beyi omanu nene afanyom ake na kasa bebre a mempese mekasa hye na no yenya daje na yenti ono abo Alexander Kwame na afanyom ake woni nsem a wode etudwa o good evening Ghana so ye ne de wanya daje a chirechire mu no wadaro ma mesere se oba like mi video no share ne fo wadwenkyere nso so bra na ye nyina na enhua de.
Thank you for the opportunity to be on your program and to provide further clarity on matters that perhaps may still need clarity. Let me read a portion of the IMF report we relied on rather in extenso to cover all the areas so that the public would know that the minority does its research and does not just blow hot air. Again, for those other media houses who would want to do fact check, I would plead with them to read the IMF report, seek expert support in giving true meaning to it. Now, this is what...
First of all, who was the IMF writing to?
No, this is the report they've issued.
What is it for? The report is for...
No, the report is on Ghana. This IMF report, Ghana, selected issues.
So they publish on their website?
Yes. Okay. This is selected issues, dated August 26, that they served as a copy as a minority.
Okay.
Right. So this is what it says. Where I'm quoting, quote, in 2025, and this is paragraph 13, page 10 of the report. Quote, in 2025, the significant scaling up of the DGPP, that's a domestic gold purchase program, operations, led to losses of over $1.7 billion, which is 1.5% of GDP, almost entirely related to the gold for reserves dowry purchases. This amounted to a loss of 17% of the value of gold sold by BOG. Losses accrued on gold trade are a combination of service and asset fees paid to GOLDBOD, discount on gold sold to off-takers, and most importantly, exchange rate losses from spread between Forex Bureau rate paid to purchase gold and city reference rate used for BOG accounting, into brackets see figure 7. Now, it goes on to say, survey data suggests that Ghanaian artisanal gold mining, that ASGM, prices are among the highest in the region. These accounting losses partly reflect valuation effect rather than economic costs, but they still weaken the BOG balance sheet and imply transfer to recipient of FX at reference rate. I will stop there. Now, let me give you the breakdown. 1, the government has given an impression that there is always an economic cost to implementing a policy. I agree that there is always an economic cost. The GOLDBOD itself, in responding to us, argued that their activities have helped stabilize the city. That is what they said.
Yeah.
That they've sold so much gold and that has helped stabilize the city. Now, by that expression, they are suggesting that Ghanaians should forget about the costs and look at the benefits. But what the IMF is saying, that upon analysis of the whole transaction, the whole policy, the gaps they find, the loopholes, the weakness in the policy itself, okay, makes them conclude that the losses are as a result of some other inefficiencies.
They mentioned some of
It's
them.
there. Yes, that's the list they provided.
Okay, take us through it.
Oh, again, right. So they said exchange rate losses from the spread between Forex Bureau rate paid to purchase gold and the city reference rate used for BOG accounting.
Yeah. What problem is that?
what they are basically.
Yeah. So you
the
buy
analysis.
from, you take the money from BOG in cedis.
Right.
Then you buy dollar rates from the gold people.
And then when they
say it's very expensive in the region.
Right.
Okay, go on.
So they are saying that these accounting losses partly reflect valuation effect rather than economic costs. I just want to stay there and make some explanation. You see, they've always argued that there is always an economic cost, which I say I concede. That in implementing any policy,
like free SHS,
you would incur some cost.
Yeah.
But the IMF is indicting that, questioning that position. It's indicting them by saying that these losses are not as a result of the economic cost that you want Ghanaians to believe. That yes, you are implementing, but at a cost. They are rather identifying that in the value chain of the transaction, certain challenges that you yourself, by way of your policy, you could not put in place to help you manage the whole program. The next point, the argument of the Gold Board chief executive is to the effect that these losses have nothing to do with Gold Board.
Yes, he makes that point.
Right. And that it's entirely the responsibility of Bank of Ghana. I would address both. One, it is factually inaccurate to argue that the losses are not attributable to Gold Board. Why do I say so? I draw my fortification from the report. In the report, the IMF says that losses accrued on gold trades are a combination of service and asset fees paid to Gold Board.
So the losses are at that level because some money was paid to Gold Board for asset fees.
This $1.7 billion amount is the losses that IMF identified in their audits, in their report, when the BOG itself opened its books. You know, these...
So it's like an audit they are doing?
Yes, virtually. And before they came out with their final report, they issued a draft report, which the government itself did not challenge. They don't just get up and issue this final report. So, on point one, the argument that the losses as registered in BOG books have nothing to do with Gold Board is inaccurate. That is not correct. Because the report itself is stating that these losses are as a result of the Gold Board asset fees paid to them. They paid it to them.
A regular part of the business, paying the asset fees to the Gold Board person?
That is not the argument. We, in our press statement, question the policy. All right? You see, sometimes maybe people listen to social media and then they don't get the exact facts. So they get emotional and start attacking. The minority's position in response to this was to the effect that government gold for reserve policy has failed. Two, their initial argument that there is always an economic cost to implementing policy is neither here nor there because the loopholes, the inherent challenges in the implementation of the policy itself, okay, leading to this report that IMF says that, look, you have incurred certain losses and these losses are not attributable to economic costs. It was your failure in policy. And we said that yes, although these losses are in the books of Bank of Ghana, the IMF itself is saying, yes, we've identified the losses in the books of Bank of Ghana because Bank of Ghana, they audited. But the losses are as a result of the Gold Board activities and operations.
Like paying asset fees.
Of course. And then the exchange rate losses. Yeah. Right. It is not us.
Again, let me take you back.
Who are saying that?
Let me take you back. So
but these are the facts.
When we say losses from a report like that, do we mean the IMF identified X amount of money went into the Gold Board, the domestic purchase program, and X amount of money came out, and the difference is 1.7 billion? Is that what it means?
They have summarized that, in effect, the trading activity in the whole transaction value chain and they've listed all the fees and charges,
Yes, I get
all of it combined to be.
But their starting point is a certain amount of money that was committed to this. Is that not their starting point?
No, that's not what they've said. They have rather given you a total amount of losses incurred, which amounted to $1.7 billion, equivalent of 22 billion.
What are they subtracting from to get the losses?
Obviously, if they look at your transaction.
So they see how much money you put in it.
And yes.
And how much money you got out of it. And the difference is
what the losses that they have.
The loss. Okay, correct. I get that. So there's a clear loss on, you took 100 cedis into this project. You are bringing back 70 cedis. So there's a 30 cedi loss. Now, that loss, you are saying that as minority, you concede that a policy may have losses. But this particular loss, you are saying that has been attributed to, I don't think dereliction of duty, but attributed to certain things that were not.
It's policy failure.
Policy failure.
Because
these losses are attributed largely to policy failure.
Not largely. If you say largely, it means that some.
Yeah, because you are conceding that there will be some
attributable
losses.
To policy failure.
Okay, and they are
that
pointing
is exactly,
to those places.
Yes. So let's read it again.
Right,
because sometimes
now we can go.
Right. So let's read it again. These accounting losses partly reflect valuation effect rather than economic costs. Now let me take you back.
Interrogate that valuation effect rather than.
Yes. Okay. So it's that line is giving effect to the explanatory notes that precedes it.
Yeah.
So I will go back to the point again. It says in 2025, the significant scaling up of the domestic gold purchase operations led to losses of over $1.7 billion, equivalent of 1.5% of GDP, almost entirely related to the gold for reserve purchases. All right? This amounted to a loss of 17% of the value of the gold sold by BOG. Then it goes further. Losses accrued on gold trades are a combination of service and asset fees paid to GOLDBOD. Let me stop there. And
GOLDBOD has been mentioned.
It's there. It's not me.
As being directly responsible for some part of the loss.
With respect, Paul, it is not a minority. It is not Afenyo Makin. It's not Afenyo Makin targeting somebody. It is not Afenyo Makin with respect who is manufacturing a story. I am not a member of the IMF. I am not a member of government. And I wasn't there when all these things were being prepared. And the IMF relied on data given it. Sometimes people also get it wrong. They say, oh, these multilateral institutions, they sit somewhere and they write their own report. No. They met them when they come to do their audit. It is the report, the data that our own source supplies them, that they analyze and come out with their report. Two, when they are done with the report, they don't just issue it. They meet with government officials. They met with them. And then, they discuss the draft. Where the government has disagreement, government will say, no, this portion will disagree with you. So this report is a final product of consensus reached between the IMF and the government.
So this has not come as a surprise to either Bank of Ghana or Ministry of Finance.
Nobody should say that the minority is trying to make up a case. You see, you cannot be personal about this. It is a policy failure. And for us as opposition, we must relate this. Once the IMF says that these losses are attributable to the GOLDBOD operations and activities, we put out the fact. Now, granted without admitting, or let's say the losses are in the books of Bank of Ghana.
Yeah.
So GOLDBOD itself admit that these are losses, but it is not in their books.
They said they don't sell.
With respect. Regardless, there are losses.
Yes.
All right? It's a financial loss to the states. You've not challenged it. What's the difference? I argue the alter ego principle. The trading activity, which was done by Bank of GOLDBOD, was financed by Bank of Ghana. You nominated them as your agents.
Who nominated who?
The Gold Board.
Nominated
in this context.
Yeah.
BOG was their agent.
To sell.
Of course.
Okay.
And then in the end, because the funds came from them, the accounting is recorded in their books. You say that it has nothing to do with you. But you are benefiting from the gains, and you say that you are surplus. And you are citing it in your audited account to tell the public that, oh, look at my audited account, it is clean. That's not the way it works. It's a two-way traffic. And that is why the IMA was clear that, yes, they identified the losses in the books of BOG, but they realized that the losses were as a result of activities undertaken on behalf of GOLDBOD. So, Paul, let me give it a very simple explanation. Somebody going into your books, your bank account, and realizing that you have a negative balance, but realizes that you issued a check to Mr. A, and that payment out of your account into his account is a credit.
To him.
To him. Then Mr. A, you are B, you are A, then Mr. B, you issued a check. Your account is reflecting a negative balance, right? Mr. B has received money from you. It's in positive, correct?
Yeah.
If Mr. B says that, oh, as for me, look at me, I have 100,000 cedis. Mr. B should tell you where he got that money from. Is it a loan? If it's a loan, is it a free money? If it's free money, tell us. Then we do the accounting and know that the source of that money is this. Is that correct? Then we can have a complete picture. But what GOLDBOD is telling us is that don't ask me questions. We shouldn't ask them questions about the trading activities. All they are interested in is that, look, as for them, they register surplus. As to what happened to BOG, they don't want to know. That is not right.
Also, something like
in any event, they themselves originally said, oh, it appears the IMF did not even understand the transaction. That was the response of the GOLDBOD chief executive earlier, that questioned the IMF's understanding of the transactions. But if you had questions, it is not us that you direct the questions at. You direct the questions at the IMF. You get the point. So I don't understand all these.
Let me see whether another analogy will work before we go to the changing. 1 minute. Let me ask you, leader. So
why we shouldn't bring them in, and that why some people are even saying that, oh, the minority did not get it right. I'm sure those people have not read.
Let me do this analogy and see whether it fits with what you are saying. Maybe it's more simpler. So, like, Good Evening Ghana is Metro TV. So I go to Metro TV and I say, give me money, 10,000 cedis. I'm going to organize a program at British Council for Good Evening Ghana.
Correct.
I believe that people will attend the program. I'm charging 20 cedis. And if people attend the program, I'll get 20,000 cedis. I'll bring you back your 10,000. Then I go to the program and nothing happens. And I'm not able to pay Metro TV their 10,000. And then Metro TV has 10,000 losses. And then Metro TV say that this loss is because we financed Good Evening Ghana's program. And I say that, oh, it's not me. It's Metro TV who has lost the money.
But you are the beneficiary.
That's the kind of thing you are saying.
Exactly so.
Okay,
I mean,
so people can understand
by extension.
So why is the Bank of Ghana so quiet in all of this? And why didn't you mention the Bank of Ghana?
In our full press statement, we read the report. It is those state agencies, except that we only amplified the position of IMF that related it to the GOLDBOD. That is what IMF said. We said what the minority said was exactly what I have just read to you. IMF says that we have identified losses of $1.7 billion in the books of BOG. But these losses are attributable to GOLDBOD. Simplicity. That's what we said. What else should we say? It's not a matter of you didn't mention this. You see?
So Bank of Ghana does not only do GOLDBOD, they do many other things.
They were very specific.
Yeah, I get your point. I'm making a similar point, whether it's correct. Bank of Ghana does many things. They do GOLDBOD, they support Ministry of Finance, they support many things. IMF comes to audit them and identifies a loss. and says that this your loss, it is the gold board activity.
Simply, that is plain
and
language.
And gold board says that it's not me, it's Bank of Ghana. I got a surplus. That's where we are.
So for us, if gold board has anything to say, it should direct it at IMF, not us. Because this is plain language. It's not it's not technical. The selected issues, the section 13 or paragraph 13 of the report, page 10, is in plain language. We did not manufacture it. It is not the minority that is introducing gold board here. So all the winding explanations by government and by the gold board is neither here nor there. We just lifted the report, and all along, it is one simple statement we have made, that gold board has incurred these losses. It amounts to financial loss to the state. It is 1.9 billion USD, equivalent of 22 billion cedis, which we could have used to construct roads, build hospitals, schools, and even create fiscal space to employ more teachers and nurses. Now, we also came to that conclusion to disagree with government because the IMF went further to say that these losses cannot be considered as economic cost in the implementation of the policy. So now let's go back to the policy. What the IMF is saying that by the structure and design of the policy, these are the inherent weakness, okay, leading to these losses. If I were the gold board chief executive, I were government, I would rather commend the minority for being bold to amplify this, and rather in response say that, look, this was our first year of implementation. These are the weaknesses we identified, and we agree with the IMF. These are the steps we are taking to redeem the situation, but not attack. Now, if all is rosy, if the gold purchase program is doing well, why the reverse decisions? We know that the governor has made an announcement to the effect that they are no more going to finance this gold purchase program. That's what they have said.
They are pulling out from the policy.
Why did they pull out?
They have already announced the pullout.
Right.
So as we speak, they're out.
So, again, aren't we vindicated? And isn't IMF at least directing them to stay away from this, and haven't they publicly committed to that? Two, isn't Gold Board itself saying that they have entered into a new dispensation where they will now deal with, manage their own cash flow, forex? When they get their dollar in, they will do A, B, C, and D. We are not interested in what the cure. That one is a different matter. After a period, we will review and see whether or not you've been able to cure, and now the program is being implemented in a better way. But for now, what is under review is your year one of performance. Year one of performance is 2025. And those who audited you have come out with their verdict. The verdict is that you've incurred $22 billion cedi losses, and that you cannot justify it with economic cost to policy implementation. So all the loud noise about the fact that, oh, you brought in so much forex and that has stabilized the cedi and the economy is doing well, is not an argument that finds favor with the report before us. Because I'm sure government made all these arguments. But the bank and IMF, upon a holistic analysis of the entire transaction, identified that, look, you are paying so much charges here, there. These are identified weaknesses in the design of the policy. Now, let me also bring another important thing to your attention. When somewhere January, the minority read the interim report. You know, there was an interim report as of September, where the IMF initially talked about identifying $214 million. So when we met them, and then they brought it out.
You met
to us. We met the IMF. It's a public knowledge. We published it. We put it out there in the news that we, the minority, met the IMF and we asked questions. And indeed, this was confirmed to us at the time. Immediately they confirmed that to us. We put it out. And that is what resulted in our filing of a motion asking for a full hearing in this whole transaction so that there will be clarity. Now, you may recall that as soon as we held the press conference and pointed out the 15% fees being paid, there was an emergency joint board meeting between GOLDBOD and Bank of Ghana. And they immediately, in that board meeting, they reviewed the fees to 9% and subsequently held another meeting and reduced the fees further. Paul, sometimes our colleagues opposite must be a bit tolerant, be fair, and give us some credit. If everything was okay with it, why did they review from 15% to 9%? I'm not here to quote individuals who are in government and have problem with this transaction. I won't do that. I will remain focused and deal with the issues. If they say we are making empty noise, we are blowing hot air, why did they further reduce the fees to 5% and now wait for the 2027 budget? What they are going to do is to say that they are now going to factor all these charges in the budget as costs to stay so that they bring an expenditure item on this matter. So instead of paying attention to the issue, they believe that going to the gutters is the way out. Paul, I want to say something by way of conclusion. J.H. Mensah, of blessed memory, he was minority leader in the second parliament. He came under severe attack from government, the NDC. I recall, I was at UCC, Kivas. One morning, there was graphic front page, banner headline, where Tony Edu described J.H. Mensah. The headline was that J.H. Waboda Mensah. And the man accepted and said, J.H. Maboda Mensah, all reported by graphic, front page. What the attack is not new to me. It doesn't move me. All right? My predecessor, majority leader, Che Mensah, came under attack several times. I understand that as a leader in parliament, I have an honor task to do heavy lifting for the party. Raise the issues, get them out, and expect that in the process, there will be attempts to bruise me. It's part of the game. This GOLDBOD matter, when Kojo Oponkrumah led the first press conference, the chief executive went personal, attacked him on Joy FM morning show, news file. Later on TV3, he attacked him and said, oh, Kojo doesn't know accounting. Meanwhile, Kojo did BCom at UCC.
I know that.
BCom is accounting.
Very much so.
Second, Adnan Osei Asare, a chartered accountant, a formidable politician, hard-working minister of state, now chair of public account. She was the first to raise this thing. And when she raised it, she also came under attack. Unprintable words were used to describe a person. Then I said no. And then our policy coordinating committee sat together, analyzed this whole thing and said, look, the caucus must state its position on this. I speak for the caucus. So if we raise it and somebody thinks that it is a federal market, that's okay. It is a federal market. I knew what was ahead of me the very day I took this position. So I'm not worried. I will stay focused. This is it. Government must account for the losses. Government must explain. GOLDBOD was the ultimate beneficiary of this and would remain at the doorstep of GOLDBOD and ask them questions. The losses are attributable to them. Again, we promise the people of Ghana that we will deal with this within the rules of parliament. Fortunately, the Gold Board chief executive says he is ready to come to parliament.
He said he's going to beg the new majority.
No, don't worry. I mean, it's okay. It's fine. We have filed the necessary processes. We don't just blow hot air. My colleagues have filed the motion. We have today at 12 noon, Paul, we filed the motion. Motion signed by respected Kojo Opon-Nkrumah, Chinubua Kodua, Jerry Shaib Ahmed, Vincent Asifua, Dr. Che Asamoah, and our ranking on finance, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam. We have put forward our argument. All the documents are tied there too for Speaker who has the power of admissibility to determine admissibility. This is not different from the earlier one that we filed and same was voted.
What's the motion asking for?
It's asking for, maybe I should read the terms of the motion. That this Honorable House, pursuant to Article 103 of the 1992 Constitution, and Standing Orders 204, 212, 213, 262, and 263, is moved to establish an ad hoc committee to investigate the circumstances under which the 1.7 billion US losses was incurred in gold trade transactions between Gold Board and the Bank of Ghana for 2025, and the circumstances under which the Bank of Ghana declared the loss at 9 billion cedis for the year 2025. Then we have stated the accompanying
So you're asking for the Speaker set up an ad hoc committee.
So since the Chief Executive has offered to come, I believe his party has heard him. We pray that the 189 majority will not stampede us.
Is that what happened the first time?
That is exactly what happened. They delayed, first of all, they delayed the motion for a long time. Each time we're going to take the motion, they will say they were not prepared. Eventually, after taking the motion, they whipped their numbers to vote against it. Fortunately, this time around, the chief executive says he would plead with his colleagues and the leader not to oppose. So it's good news for Democrats, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
So we will carry this motion eventually, I pray. An ad hoc committee set up. So all the parties in the value chain of this 22 billion losses as reported would now come. All right? Would invite the aggregators. Gold Board must bring all its books. I mean, because they said they are ready. BOG must come. We would invite those we have to invite and have a live coverage, because 222 billion is huge sum. It's not.
You don't just want the motion to succeed, so you have an ad hoc committee. You also want a live coverage.
No, but they have been calling for transparency.
Yes.
The live coverage of proceedings.
Who's going to permit that? Who's going to allow that? The Speaker?
No. But it's in the interest of democracy.
I get that, but is it part of the motion to ask for a live coverage?
No, we don't need to. It's consequential. It's consequential. And with the level of public interest in this matter, we can't go into some corner bar and go and do this. There must be a live,
so Ghanaians can hear for themselves.
Can hear how much is being charged, who are the aggregators, how much went into them, the exchange rate losses, how much gold was shipped, who bought them, and all of that. BOG, the same data they gave to the IMF, they bring it before Parliament. Let's analyze everything. All right? If indeed, as they want us to believe, perhaps IMF did not do a good job, and IMF did not understand, and by extension, we also don't understand, let us do it. A 5-member committee, ad hoc committee, a 7-member ad hoc committee, or 9-member ad hoc committee. These are the discretion of the Speaker, who will say that it is 9-member committee. Minority, by your numerical strength, bring 3 people or bring 4 people. Majority, bring 5 or whatever. They will have the highest numbers. Then, before the cameras, Chief Executive Gold Board comes to make his case. Aggregators come and make your case. The various institutions that are involved, how they sold it, bring your books and all of that. And then parliamentarians, as part of their oversight, would then have the opportunity to analyze the whole policy. And we can do our report. The people of Ghana can judge. At that point, we'll be able to come to a conclusion whether or not there were decisions that could have been taken to prevent these losses. Then we'll determine whether or not indeed the policy failure as concluded by the IMF is indeed true. For now, we are relying on these losses to make these demands. We would come to a fair conclusion after we have interrogated the matter in a very transparent manner. And Paul, we have the expertise as minority. Our side will sit down and select those who understand this. We have them, okay, to face the institutions of state as part of the accountability process and demand it. And when we're done, everybody will know who is telling the truth. But for now, I expect all commentators to be fair to the truth. This is the only thing we are relying on. Nothing else. They should also read what we have read. And if anywhere in the report they claim that GOLDBOD is not connected to the losses, they should tell us. This is our source document. We've not said anything else. Simplicity.
Let me come to the, or you have something
Yes,
to say?
I have some further explanation on something. You see, again, I noticed that in the submission of the GOLDBOD chief executive, he argued that there are other players in the domestic gold purchase program. That can't be true. The reason is very simple. In the legislation establishing GOLDBOD, the law conferred upon it a complete monopoly, exclusivity in the purchase of artisanal gold.
Yeah.
So it is both a buyer and a regulator. So the law conferred upon it the power to regulate the entire sector.
And automatically buy all.
And also to buy all. So if you argue that there are other players, it can't be true.
He said that in his press conference?
Yes, and this is actually captured. If you read the Bank of Ghana report, it says survey data suggests that Ghanaian ASGM, that's artisanal gold mining, prices are among the highest in the region.
Yeah.
So they are telling us that be careful. Our artisanal gold, in other words, even gold that is bought from Galamsey, there's another argument. We have said that the gold purchase program itself and the way GOLDBOD was structured by law allowed for more Galamsey activities. This has been confirmed by the TUC, Organized Labor, in their 2025 May Day submission. The Secretary General boldly told the nation that since the assumption of the new government, NDC, Galamsey activities have gone up. Graphic Corporation, Graphic, on its front page last week, also echoed the extent to which Galamsey was destroying our environment. Several other studies have come out with alarming figures to suggest that Galamsey activities have scaled up. And we have contended as minority that the way the GOLDBOD activities have been structured, where no distinction is made between regularly mined artisanal gold and Galamsey gold, allows for a complete, increase in the Galamsey activities, such that GOLDBOD appears to be desperate for gold. You give money to aggregators, the aggregators get into the forest, get into the bush, get to the riverside, all they demand, we want gold. The aggregators do not come and tell GOLDBOD that GOLDBOD, we got this from Galamseyers. We got this from regularly artisanal miners. What they bring, you pay. GOLDBOD does not have a regulation. And this was one of the things we raised in Parliament. And they didn't mind us. They passed the bill at midnight. You see, I said in Parliament that our friends in the majority should not take us for granted. Paul, I can say that my colleagues, the 87 of us, research is what we do. From day one, all the trainings we had, the clear position we took was that, look, we don't have the numbers. Let's do research. So that when we are arguing, we'll be well fortified. That is what we've all been doing. And we don't just come out and speak. That is one of the things that make us stand firm, unsoiled, and unshakable. So when I'm talking, I know I am on solid foundation. Before a statement like this comes out, it goes through a process. Our flag bearer would have to look at it. There's a tripod. The flag bearer's office, made up of experts, would have to look at it. The party machinery with a directorate, with experts, look at it. And we, the caucus, have our colleagues. There are various platforms we debate. Somebody will go, check this data, check this, add that. So we don't just get up and come out and speak anyhow. Because NPP is a conservative party, very careful about its image. It wouldn't want to go out there and somebody will say, fact check, minority is wrong. Anybody who dares to come out to say we are wrong is himself doing mischief. And I submit, because we are on firm grounds. Any media house that will say that minority got something wrong is doing mischief, because that media house will not be doing justice and doing fairness to the whole to the whole process, because we did a lot of work. And what I came out to present was as a result of good, excellent work done. We crossed everything. I wish I took a video to show the back room. When the morning I took the report, I said, no, let me be double sure, because we know the public out there, they will scrutinize. Checked every data, made sure every information. I checked myself with my pen, underline, cross every T, made sure what we were releasing to the public would be unquestionable. So we are not lazy politicians who, because of partisan convenience, will come out there and throw things. We won't do that. I won't risk it. Let me conclude with something that the GOLDBOD chief executive said. His own report. You see, he was telling Ghanaians that, Auditor General has done audit.
Yes.
And everything is clean. Everything.
They have surplus.
Oh, don't worry. I mean, a book no lie. Mm-hmm. Page 11 of the report that he showed to the public.
The one he was relying upon.
That is correct.
Auditor General.
That is correct. Mm-hmm. Let's read page 11. Responsibility of the Board of Directors for the financial statement. This is what the Auditor General said. Quote, the authorities board is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of these financial statements in accordance with International Public Sector Accounting Standard, into bracket IPSAS, Public Financial Management Act of 2016, Act 921, and its enabling regulation 2019, and in a manner required by GOLDBOD Act 2025, as well as the applicable accounting standard, and for such internal control as the authority determines necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statement, the board is responsible for assessing its ability to continue as a going concern. It goes on and on and on. My point is that if you say the auditors that you are saying that they did an audit, this disclaimer, this is largely a disclaimer by the auditor, telling you that you are responsible for the preparation of your own account. That the report that they analyzed, they did not
based
source
on what you give them.
Exactement.
Okay.
Exactement.
So the auditor is saying that I have finished my work based on what he gave
What
me.
you gave me.
But you, the reader, please be aware that the report came from them.
Paul, it is good to read, oh.
But is it not a standard audit practice?
No, I'm saying that. So then don't go around to say that the auditor has cleared you, because, you see, there are two stages where an auditor comes to you and deals with raw data. Bring me your bank statement. Bring me your receipt, purchases, checks. You say you have a property. Bring me the land document. Then he's gathering all the data. Then he is doing his own analysis. What this disclaimer is saying is that you are responsible for your report. So, you know the good news? The good news is that with the hearing, the public hearing, we will now demand the primary data and juxtapose it against the management report they gave the Auditor General and ask our questions. We have chartered accountants.
So you're going to turn that into a forensic audit then?
No, we are not talking forensic. We are doing oversight. We are not forensic auditors. What we are saying is that we want to analyze the entire, gold purchase program. It's a policy. The IMF has concluded that the policy has structural inefficiencies leading to these losses. The IMF is saying that the losses are not as a result of economic costs. You recall that my good friend Senor Hossi in the early days and some others argued in the early days that there is always an economic cost to policy implementation,
yes.
which I have said I agree. There should be some cost, but you have to measure that cost and determine whether or not that cost, juxtapose it against the gains, it is worth going into it. You've analyzed all the risk and all that. My point is that from what IMF is saying, I have not had a benefit of perusing their primary data. I'm relying on the IMF report. They are saying that this thing is not, the losses cannot be as a result of economic costs. So there are some structural challenges, design problems, and Professor Bobkin, Legon, the economics professor, has also reiterated that point, that he thinks that the domestic gold purchase program, which is being spearheaded by the Gold Board, has structural problems and is going to lead to some losses. And if they don't redesign the program and make it viable, it's going to lead us nowhere. They are denying that. So I believe that once Gold Board itself has agreed that there is a need for a transparent oversight by Parliament, and I believe that as he spoke, the majority in Parliament have heard him. The last time we were stampeded. We pray that this time there will be no numerical stampeding, where they say they are 189, they whip all of them to deny us the 87th opportunity to go into the books. So we are going to interrogate this, ask questions about the surplus, ask questions about why 2 days to the end of year, they now got the 4-point-something billion cedis. What has happened to it, how that was used, what were the gains, etc., etc. And the Ghanaian people will come to a fair conclusion. We are committed to that. Now let me come to
the question I was asking.
The issue. You see, I said it on a very lighter note, but I also mean it. Let me explain again. We are dealing with losses. Once the state incurs a loss in implementing a policy, it is a financial loss to the state. And somebody would have to be responsible for decisions taken there too. Now, I wasn't directly attacking anybody, all right? I was rather stating the fact that, look, today, you in NDC, a lot of my colleagues are under investigation. A lot of former appointees are under investigation. Some of them, as a leader, I know, they say, oh, he took a certain decision, the board approved some transaction, and then there's a loss of some 5 million, 10 million, and all of that. I know. Some of them are worried. It's not a crime they've committed, but the state is investigating certain activities leading to losses. They go to Yoko, and then they are made to post very onerous bail. Some of them, they say, bring 50 million, bring property worth 100 million, and they sleep in Yoko for days. I was only drawing their attention that, colleagues, you are in government. Bear in mind that you will make mistakes. It's natural. You are human. In governance, there is no perfection. However hard you try, you will make some mistakes. There will be some decisions you may mean well, but in the end, something may go bad. So think about a China, so that if tomorrow somebody picks something and say, hey, 22 billion, and the state is asking you questions, then they say, okay, yesterday you demanded bail of a certain magnitude, so you should also go and bring 22 billion. I was just,
I get it,
saying it on a lighter note, but not to specifically somebody has committed a crime. I have to be fair. We have not done.
You are not alleging that.
We are no. I would be fair, my brother. I would be fair. We are demanding answers until Parliament peruses and comes to a conclusion. It will be unfair for me to call somebody out and say ABC. I must be fair. I am demanding fairness from government. So I needed to make that point to also draw the attention. Because obviously, Paul, the way and manner our friends in government are handling all of us, our colleagues, is bad. I have argued consistently that I demand accountability. As for post-regime accountability, nobody can run away from it. You come into government, you take decisions after 4 years, after 8 years, whether you like it or not, even if it is your own government succeeding itself, there will be some form of accountability. If accountability is not demanded after leaving office, CSOs, the way they are vigilant, will demand accountability even as you are in office. The media will demand accountability. So perhaps accountability must not just be looked at as post-regime, exercise. In all of these, all of us must be careful. So I was only urging my colleagues to be careful, because the way they are treating NPP, I go to Yoko. Do you think I'm happy going to sit at Yoko? Sometimes you go and stand there for hours. Some of your colleagues, you need them to come and debate. The time you need them for debate, they are reporting to BNI. I'm not questioning that. All I'm saying is that give the law and its enforcement a human face, so that tomorrow, if anybody is also demanding accountability from you, at least you can use it as a reference point that, when you were in office, you used a human face to implement. But if you are extremely harsh, unreasonable, you make it difficult for moderates in NPP to also argue that, man, sir, Paul, you are sitting here. You know how much effort I made as a majority leader in trying to restrain things. I can't say that in public.
I know.
All right?
I know.
Sometimes I feel bad when our friends forget that only yesterday we were all there for them, and we said that even if you are going through difficulty, there must be a human face to it. And our own party bashed us for being too reasonable. So I stand on moral grounds when I'm pointing to them that, guys, after 2 years appeal, President Mahama,
2.5.
2.5. President Mahama is exiting. He's doing his bit. When he leaves, nobody knows how 2028 will go. But if we are political actors,
Nobody have a large majority.
Don't worry. Look, the history of this country should guide every politician. Let me take you back. In the second parliament, where J.H. Mensah came in with his 61 colleagues, NDC had 133, super majority. This is not the first time they are smelling super majority. In just 4 years, the election that brought Kufo, MPP turned its minority into majority. We had 102. Put that aside. Fast forward. In 2012, we had 125. In 2016, we had 169. All right? We thought heavens have opened for us forever. We took things for granted. In just 4 years, we woke up the next day to 137. See how we struggled. The NDC that everybody thought NDC is broken. Oh, they can't come back. Our presidential vote reduced by half. Akufo-Addo won 2016 with over 1 million. In 2020, after all the good things we did, look at COVID, how we spent, the project, free SHS implementation, only to wake up to see that our majority has been reduced to 137. We struggled in parliament. I was deputy majority leader, became majority leader. I know how I struggled. We lost the speakership. Now, Akufo-Addo, it took the grace of God to go through the 4 years. Because parliament, when parliament is strong, no government can, run over parliament.
Now, was thwarted.
Right. Now, today, our friends get the impression that, all is good. 189 there. Ebi wom. 189 is ebi wom pa. These people, they can't defeat us. It's okay. I am telling them that be measured how you maltreat us. If today you are insulting Afenyo Market, using unprintable words on my person, hiring social media people going to sit at studios of FM stations, TV stations, use vulgar language. The very thing that if you give them a snap, a Bible, a Quran to swear, whether it is true, they cannot. They are saying it for politics. I won't question you. I won't say anything. I won't sue you. But bear in mind that which you cherish melts. That one day, that is why in a noble society that I'm familiar with, it says that though distinctions amongst men exist to preserve subordination, ought no eminence of situation make you forget that we are brothers. For he who is placed at the lowest ebb of fortune's wheel is equally entitled to our regard. As a time will come, the wisest of men knows not how soon, when all distinctions, save those of goodness and mercy, a virtue, shall cease, and death, the grand level of all human, I lost the line, shall reduce us to the same state. Now, today you are in office. If yesterday I misconducted myself and disrespected my friends in opposition, I wouldn't have the moral authority to call and say, bro, you are wrong. I honored them. I respected them. They know. Sometimes they can't say it publicly, but they know that Afenyo Market respects brotherhood. I respect a code. I don't dishonor friendship. We are doing politics. I'm the minority leader. I will do my work. But in so doing, I have due regard for your office. So if you think today you have the power, abuse me, it's okay. I wouldn't go to court. I wouldn't say anything back. You can say that, you undermining me and say whatever. J.H. Mensah went through worse. Che Mensah Bones went through worse. My brother are too forcing. Sometimes, I know who are mobile. Minority leader. It's not an easy office. Minority leader. Sometimes you can be lonely. When everything is going round, you have to do the heavy lifting. I'm ready to do a heavy lifting for this party, NPP. My stepfather fought for the party. My mom fought for the party. My daddy suffered for the party. And it's my turn. I will fight for the party with a clear mind. And I won't shake. What we are telling the people of Ghana about these losses is the truth. Nothing more, nothing less. We expect the NDC to be reasonable in coming, eat humble pie, and admit that indeed policy failures resulted in this. So that perhaps we can look at the way forward. But to be attacking us, I will stay there, deal with the issues, and pursue it. However lonely I may become, I am doing this for the party, and the right thing will be done. Thank you very much.
Whilst you're here, Alex Markin, very articulate as usual, but this is quite an emotional Alex Markin presentation. Let's preserve our politics. That's all we have. Alex Segbefia said the law is all we have. let's preserve it. Let me get your attention for the National Identification Authority and business institutions, service providers. The National Identification Authority wishes to inform the public and all institutions that a new law, LI 2523, has introduced important changes to how the Ghana card identities are verified. Under the new requirement, biometric verification is now the principal means of confirming the identity of a Ghana card holder. So what does this mean? Do not rely only on the photograph or physical appearance of the person presenting a Ghana card. Where the biometric verification is required, you must use the NIA-approved biometric verification system. You should also not photocopy, scan, retain copies or images of the Ghana card or rely on ocular or visual inspection alone. Please take note, carrying out verification through unauthorized copies or ocular inspection is an offense under LI 2523 and is punishable by penalties of up to 2,000 penalty units for a body corporate and up to 1,000 penalty units for a partnership or other undertaking, payable by each partner or responsible person. If your institution or business or agency identifies, then take the next step and onboard onto the NLA identification verification platform. The transition period for institutions to onboard runs from 27th of July to 2nd November 2026, but institutions are encouraged to start their compliance preparations now. The changes are designed to strengthen identity security, prevent impersonation. For more information, please visit the identification at nia.gov.gh. ID verification at nia.gov.gh or call the NIA today on 0302 999 306 0302 999 306. Maybe the NIA should come in for an interview and then we can talk about this. It's 30 minutes past 11. We still have Bonzo K. Minority Leader, will you pray for us? Okay, you don't need to. Let me take Minority Leader, take your leave. You have to give me a day to present my book to you in your office, so I'll wait for that. But thank you very much. We call him a very short notice.
Thank you for having me. I would say that in some other places, minority leaders or opposition members are in prison. They are beaten.
Yeah.
So in Ghana,
we are better off.
In Ghana, we are better. If it's all about insult, it's better.
It's better.
So we'll manage the insult for now.
Thank you very much.
But we'll raise the issues.
That was Alexander Afenyo-Markin. Always a pleasure to talk to him. Let's see what the people are saying on text message. And coming into the studio all the way from Elembele constituency, Bonzo K. He heard my call. He's
say Afenyo-Markin on there. Because on there we no go see you unim say court no currently no NDC court. You know. And Afenyo-Markin will not even try to go and sue because my advice Afenyo-Markin say Afenyo-Markin men go sue. Currently the way the judiciary is no. Who go sue NPP, you don't have favor in the eyes of the judiciary. It is a major fear shedaka. Ko opa ye fe ko sue me na hwe oboa a trap.
Ubia access to information and ubia so rational into ubi ditro nipa no utietro na obehu se enye no kre at NDC for no musuba ni say yenye no kre no kra no obeka force ade ato so na ubi asebe onni sa information ni bi no wakwa akoye den wate na watie bi ye boy hu modern free SHS ni ade so nipa he na akọ school nipa he na betumi afa court ruling no akenkan nipa he na sabi obetumi aka so ko internet so akọ search kaka nti omunim sa ni nti no matwato atonkofo etirim ka be ya ye kan ya mako dijabo ka 22 billion Ghana cedis the whole Ghana fit independence ye more ka on any transaction 22 billion Ghana cedis.
The judges are our colleagues. We know them. They are our friends. We know how they enjoy legal vacation when they were lawyers. So how come say all of a sudden they tend to be as if they are working and we are lazy? That is the spirit of the ruling. As if lawyers are lazy. We don't want to. The Ghana Bar Association have spoken.
Lawyer Morris Ampao ordinano ato nsensema hodoa ekosue ena ochire mu se wohwe agagefo ya sese de wonom edi yatemu dwumadi no nimu no a eyentenchia ena wonom ye wonom ahyeda pa na omatu mani de si NPP adehye so a wonom pese wonom hyeda tata wonom frese na nsɛm wohwɛ nneɛma ahodoɔ a ɛkɔ soɔ no biribi adi adanseɛ sɛ ɛyɛ nneɛma ho sɛm paa ɛna wɔnom ahyɛ da yɛ a wɔnom ɛyɛ nti ne deɛ wama kwadwo ɔpɔn kroma ɛde bem firi sɛ wohwɛ nsɛm ahodoɔ de kɔdan kɔɔto a ɛnɛ kamea yɛ sɛ agyaagye mpanimfoɔ ahodoɔ pii no a no ɛyɛ wɔnom a His Excellency John Dramani Mahama baayɛ no wapa wɔn sɛ wɔnom na ɛmmra medi atemu dwumadie no anim nti no wode wasɛm kɔ na wonyɛ NDC ne di na kyɛ sɛ asɛm ato wa ne sa na saa legal vacation ya ɛho asɛm di kan baayɛ yɛ a wɔnom kyerɛ sɛ agyaagyefoɔ ne a lawyer ne ho ɔmo nyinaa wɔnom ɛkɔ ahomegyem parliament nso so kɔ ahomegyem nti ɔmo yɛ adwuma wɔ atemu dwa no anim deɛ ɔmo nyinaa no ɛkɔ ahomegyem na nso so ɛkɔba ne sɛn ɛna obi a yɛ nyinaa yɛkɔ ahomegyem na otemuafo anasa attorney general wɔne chief justice ɛde krataa kɔ sɛ cases ahodoɔ ɛfa NPP foɔ ho no deɛ wɔnom bɛkɔ so atena so adi asɛm no nti no wɔn hwɛ na wɔnom mmra court ɛno ɛna kɔdwa ɔpɔn kromade attorney general ɛne chief justice ɛkɔ court sɛ dabi da asɛm we pa do mo hwehwɛ mu yie because nyɛ ne kwan so no yɛ nyina yɛkɔ break ani yɛkɔ break yɛ ba ne yɛbɛto asɛm no so ɛno ɛna government me ho ase bi aba ɛnɛ lawyer Morris Ampao ɛde mu nkyerɛmu bebre no aba kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ ɛtan ɛna wɔnom tan NPP foɔ ɛno da nkyɛn so a saa megya mfi kapudu yɛ okɔkɔ boy yɛ ho aba asɛm nso so ɛnɛ sɛ de yɛdi kan to dwa sɛ IMF foɔ de nkrata aba bonten aba besan ensɛm ahodo a afanyoma ken ɛka yɛ no abesan ne ti kyerɛ sɛ odi bem ɛyɛ no korɛ pa efiri sɛ asɛ ɛnɛ no na GOLDBOD akakɔ Bank of Ghana na Bank of Ghana nso adane abo efi sɛ mprempreyan ɛka Bank of Ghana abɔ ne dada no ɔgye we ka ne ho a asɛm ɔto no to wɔn pɛ sɛ obesom sɛ we yɛ ɔno ne ka ɛno na atwentwene GOLDBOD fo bo akɔfa nsɛm bebre no ade aba no ode nya adagye ne yɛntie lawyer Morris Ampao ne nkyerɛ mu ɔde baayɛ ɛfa kwan a Justice Poaman ɛne wɔn mu ka ho no wɔn mu di NPP fo ani ɛno da nkyɛn so akɔdwa ɔpɔn kroma so de nsɛm kakra to dwa no so yɛbɛnya adagye na yɛtie bibi kakra mɛsrɛ sɛ ɔba like video no ma me no ɔhyɛ na ɔde wadwe nkyerɛ so ɛde aba yɛnkɔtie bibi
because I think say as a practicing lawyer adibako kan wo judgment etwi mi ni yɛ say lawyers are independent contractors. We are not part of the judiciary. Lawyers are not part of the judicial service. And you know, if the judges and the judiciary is going on vacation, if I don't bang. But Justice Poaman has, and in his ruling, has forgotten to say, lawyers are officers of the court. The fact that we are not employee of governments, and now we are not part of the judicial service, doesn't mean that we don't have a stake in the administration of justice. And Justice Poaman ruling has forgotten to say, under Article 125 of our constitution, justice does not belong to the judiciary. Justice does not belong to the judges. Justice does not belong to the DUSAC. Justice does not belong to the Chief Justice. But justice emanates from the people and is being administered on behalf of the people by the judiciary. In extension, justice is for all. So judges are our servants. They are there because of the people. They are not of their own. And lawyers are also owners of justice. This is Poaman. Today I'm disagreeing with you. The way you are looking at lawyers, you were once a lawyer, and I think your ruling, you forgot is that judges, lawyers too are part of, they exercise judicial power. Because they under Article 125, no, they own justice. And lawyers are so critical in the administration of justice. Say, the constitution are giving lawyers role, say, every accused person, everybody, every citizen has a right to choose a lawyer. And every citizen has a right to have a lawyer. And lawyers play a bigger role. Look, when administration of justice is without lawyers, there will be handicap. Judges will suffer. If all lawyers decide to go on demonstration and withdraw our services, how can you administer justice? Because we have a key role. We are the defender of the poor and we assist the court. The judges are not all knowing. That's why I disagree with Justice Mahama. The judges are not all knowing. You are lawyers. Every judge is a lawyer before you became a judge. Every judge. You are our classmates. As I sit here, my classmates, I was gone 3 years Supreme Court judges, 1 female and 2 male. They are my colleagues at the legal faculty. When it comes to the Court of Appeal and the High Court, they have about 7 or 8 judges, including Judge Amuyate. I don't want to mention about 7 or 8 of my colleagues are judges. And before they became judges, they were practicing lawyers. They practiced. So every judge is a lawyer who enjoyed legal vacation. They all enjoy legal vacation. They traveled, they relaxed, they rest. They didn't raise that issue that we were independent contractors. No. Vacation is vacation. Rest is rest. And rest is divine. He who does not rest die early. If you don't rest, you are evil. Rest is divine. Anything that people also as I say no. Bible said on the 7th day he rested. So rest is key. And that's what the fact that you want judges should rest on the vacation, but lawyers there, we should not rest. That is why I disagree with you. Your judgment. Because if you say lawyers, we cannot rest because we are independent contractors, you know, judges can go on and rest. And few work, but every lawyer should be active. And then in his ruling, Justice Mahama said, if a lawyer cannot come, he should send his genius. As if genius too are not lawyers. They are also lawyers. They are human beings. And the person will be engaging lawyer or engaging junior. People engage lawyers with experience. And the genius normally go and hold briefs. So it's sad. Say, we will make it as if lawyers are lazy. Lawyers are not ready to come to court. And so lawyers must appear at all costs. But we must also have a period of rest. And I was expecting, say, I was disappointed in the ruling of this woman. I was highly disappointed. I was like, wow, this is I don't see law. I see more of politics mixed with legal reasoning and a position of an agenda to ensure, say, oral cases are heard during the vacation. That's how I saw the judgment. And I can tell you, because it's only one judge, under Article 134 of our Constitution, B, upon Nkrumah and Co. should go for review. I'm not convinced about the ruling of Justice Mahama. Review, then we have 3 justices of the Supreme Court who sit on the review. If they sit on the review, now I'm far. Ghana Bar Association, let's begin to fight the judiciary, the bar, the bench legally. Don't allow the bench to intimidate us. The judges are our colleagues. We know them. They are our friends. We know how they enjoy legal vacation when they were lawyers. So how come say all of a sudden they tend to be as if they are working and we are lazy? That is the spirit of the ruling. As if lawyers are lazy. We don't want to. The Ghana Bar Association have spoken. Where we must stand solidly behind the Ghana Bar Association against the judiciary, against the bench, the bar. Because in law, the bar must give respect to the bench, and the bench also